So Max Headroom, if people don't know, was a character back in the 80s. Now, what was he? He was actually AI. He was the first AI character.
Oh, hold on.
It was billed as the first computer-generated TV host, but it really wasn't, because back then computers were too crude to pull that off. Max Headroom was actually played by an actor named Matt Frewer, who had rubber prosthetics and heavy makeup on. He was filmed in front of a blank background where they imposed these computer graphics that moved around. His suit was actually a fiberglass shell that fit around him. The whole thing started out on this English video music channel. Then he was in a video with Art of Noise called Paranoia Coke. I always thought Max Headroom was kind of confusing and sort of trippy, sort of disorienting, because there was definitely something artificial, but there was also something really lifelike as well.
This is where it gets spooky. He came out in around 85, and a couple years later, there was a broadcast interrupted in Chicago in 1987.
What?
Yes. So here's the thing. For one, the date it happened on, November 22nd. What date is that? November 22nd is the same day that JFK died. That's weird. That's one. Here's the thing. The first broadcast that they interrupted, the time was 9:14. The second one was at 11:15. So you have 9/11. Guess what channels they were?
Not 9/11.
Channel 9 and Channel 11.
Get the out of here.
They knew something.
Yeah.
And here's the cherry on top. So that's some time travel, right? The first broadcast that they interrupted was a show by the name of Doctor Who. And Doctor Who is what? Has stuff to do with sci-fi, time travel, alien, all kind of crazy.
Yeah, no. It's something. It's not nothing.
Because what type of technology do you have back in the 80s to interrupt a TV station?
Now, who's responsible for 2 acts of video piracy? Last night, someone broke into regular programming here on Channel 9 and on Chicago's public broadcasting station. As Larry Roderick reports, the first interruption took place during last night's 9 o'clock news.
It started as a quiet Sunday night for Chicago residents watching the news. WGN's live sports segment plays until the broadcast cuts. What came next became one of the most controversial events in television history.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I. Actually, the computer that we have running our news from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is start over from the top of the Bears and tell you once again about the 30-10 victory they had over Detroit today out at Soldier Field.
The first hijack lasted less than 30 seconds. Engineers on site reacted fast, switching frequencies and ending it quickly. The confused anchor joked it off on air, not knowing it was only the beginning.
Sports anchor Dan Rowan had just started his Sunday night Bears report when the screen suddenly went black, then came back on with a new unruly presence, a man wearing a Max Headroom mask. We had been taken over by a video pirate for a short time, until technicians here changed microwave channels between the studio and the transmitter and knocked him off the air.
And apparently somebody with some equipment was able to interfere with our signal.
Now, this is not just anybody off the street. He has to have an electronic expertise of some level, right?
Yes, he does. It takes very sophisticated equipment to do this at a significant power level. So this isn't something that just anyone would be able to accomplish.
But Channel 9 wasn't alone in its Max Headroom appearance. There was even a longer episode on Channel 11, public broadcasting.
What do you want to learn?
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
A little after 11 p.m., Doctor Who was knocked out by the Max lookalike, who pitched a soft drink, then performed a series of antics that station officials found less than humorous before the pirate himself pulled the plug.
Fortunately, it was a self-destruct mechanism. It was beyond our control. We now have already implemented steps whereby we could take something like that off the air immediately if it were to occur again. It did, of its own volition, go off the air, as I say, after about a minute and a half.
It annoyed some viewers.
No, I just thought it would be just a slight mess up, but that in the middle of the tape, it's going to be... We're going to have to tape over it.
Angered others.
Somebody wants to get attention, what do? They go break into a television broadcast. Just to get attention, like throwing a brick through your window, so to speak.
Well, some thought it was a lot of fun. So what did you think about the whole thing?
Very, very funny.
It may seem rather humorous, but there is more to it than that. For when this person is caught, he or she will face penalties.
It is very serious, and we'd like to inform anybody who's involved in this type of thing that it is serious and that we will take every step that we can to find out who is doing it. And once we have determined that, we will make sure that the full extent of the law is carried out.
Meanwhile, they have taken steps to prevent further appearances of the mock Max.
The Max Headroom incident has gone down as one of the most unsettling unsolved mysteries in history. On the night of November 22nd, 1987, two separate television signals from two separate television stations were hijacked in Chicago. The unidentified person was wearing a Max Headroom mask and costume and was rambling incoherently throughout the hijacked broadcasts. An FBI investigation began almost immediately, literally an hour after the hijacked broadcasts had occurred. But to this day, almost 40 years later, we still have no idea who was behind the Max Headroom incident. What we are certain of is no matter how much time passes, it is still just as unsettling now as it was back then. Check this out.
2 hours later, during a rerun on WTTW, it happened again. This time, with sound.
To have full autonomy over oneself. That can be done by monitoring what goes into one's mind, one's mouth, one's body. Pause. These are things that can be controlled by self.
The second hijack went on uninterrupted for 90 seconds. There were no engineers on site this time.
Tonight is trying to find out who's responsible for two acts of video piracy. Last night, someone broke into regular programming here on Channel 9 and on Chicago's public broadcasting station.
Chicago television station, someone using sophisticated equipment managed to briefly and illegally override broadcast signals on WGN-TV and WTTW.
To hijack a TV broadcast in 1987 took serious equipment. A high-powered microwave transmitter aimed at the towers, capable of overpowering the signal in what engineers call the capture effect. Interestingly, they had to be within line of sight, meaning they were nearby. The distorted voice, likely created using a ring modulator, by 1992, nothing had came of it, and the 5-year statute of limitations had expired. Even if the hacker came forward today, they couldn't be charged. Some say it was just a prank, but experts estimated the hijack would have required tens of thousands of dollars in broadcast gear, or the equivalent of $50,000 today. Hardly a casual prank. Others believe it was personal, or worse. Then there's the question that still lingers. Was there a message hidden in the madness? Millions of residents were witness, but to what exactly? Was it a prank, a statement, or something personal?
Have you any idea how successful censorship is? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?